Hello everyone, welcome to another session on iteration structures. Today we will see for loop. This is the continuation of previous movies on the loops that we discussed, while loop as well as do while loop. While loop, as you might remember, it's an entry control loop, and do loop is the exit control loop, and this is for loop. This is also an entry control loop. So this is another variation of the loop structure, where the initialization and the loop counter variable, everything is done on the same line. So that's the difference in this loop. This loop executes a set of statements the number of times and maintains its own counter. So which means the counter variable is integrated or built within the loop itself. So in general, counter control repetition should be implemented with a for statement. So that's what this loop is about. So to define a for loop, you need the following information: starting value to initialize the counter variable. As we know, we have to initialize the variable counter variable. Previously we saw a variable name typically done with I. So in a loop they start with I, j, k, like that, and condition for continuing the loop plus plus or not plus plus, the less than or equal to until or greater than or equal to, like that. So condition statement, and then the increment of the loop, whether increment or decrement is done. So the syntax for the for loop is shown here. Initialization is done first. You see the initialization here. So count int counter equal 1, and it is separated by a semicolon, and then condition is put. Here we have the condition counter less than or equal to 10, and operation. This operation is the counter controlling operation is done here. It is increment or decrement. So the body of the loop will come within the parenthesis. A simple example based on our previous example, it is adding numbers from 1 to 0, 1 to 10, or 10 to 1 is done here. So for initially we clear the list box. For list box dot items are clear, so that the contents, existing contents inside this loop, will be cleared. Then the for statement comes, int I equal 1. So the counter variable is initialized with the value of 1, and then it is going to check whether the counter variable is less than or equal to 10, and then for each loop, for each execution of the loop, the counter variable will be incremented by 1. That is what is meant by plus plus. You might remember this. Inside the body we have the items to be added. For list box dot items to add I dot toString. You can even ignore this string, toString. At that time also it will work. And similarly the reverse is done here. It is starting with 10, and condition is whether the value of I is greater than or equal to 1. So until it becomes 1, it is repeated here. I minus minus means the value of I is decremented by 1 every time the loop executes. So this is how it works. And then another example is adding a value, displaying a text value if it meets the value of 5, right? For each time it checks, first it becomes I equals 1, so it is tested. If it is I equal to 5, no, so it is skipped, and then this line of code is added. And then I becomes 2, check is done again, no, so this is executed. 3, 4, and when it becomes 5, it checks, yes, it is 5. So this code will be executed. When the value of I becomes 5, this code will be executed, and then it continues to add the number 5 here, as it mentioned. Again it goes with 6, so it is checked, no, then this statement only executes. This is how it works. Another example we have is displaying odd numbers or even numbers using the for loop. Previously we did with this with our do loop as well as while loop. Here we are testing whether the remainder of this operation, remainder modulus operator, 2. If it is not equal to 0, it is an odd number, so odd number is added. If it is 0, it is an even number, so even numbers are added, other numbers are skipped. So that's how it works. So we will see this in action using Visual Studio. Until then, please remain with us. So here I have launched Visual Studio, and I would like to add a form. I'm right clicking on project and add, and I'm pointing to Windows form. This form is going to be called as for loop form, right? For loop add. In the programs.cs I am double clicking. Here it is already do loop, so I'm going to make it as for loop. Save all, close this program.cs. So I have opened this form. Here we will add list box and a button. Let's call this list box as for list box. Okay, for list box. And let me call this button as add button. And I'm going to make it a little wider and longer. So button text is add. Double click on this. Okay, increase the view. 4. Okay, here I've typed 4 and pressed my tab key twice, so that the entire structure is added. So here it is initialized with I, and it is equal to 0. I'm going to make it 1, and let's have it as 100. Okay, less than or equal to 100. For list box items dot add I. Let's run this. Click on add. It is added. Okay, so if you want to do the reverse of this, okay, reverse of this, 100 greater than or equal to 1. Here it becomes I minus minus. Run this again. Add. Fine, it works. And if you want to add the even numbers only, we can have an if clause. If I modulus 2 equals to 0. Okay, we will cut this. I modulus equal to 0, then only it will add the items. Okay, let's run this. Only the even numbers, and if you want to make it odd numbers, not equal to 0. Here comes. So if it is even number, we want to do something, and if it is odd number, we want to do something. In this instance, if it is even number, if it is odd number, we have to say something like 3 asterisks. We will see this now. Else we copy it here. Let's see what happens. You see here, for odd numbers it is displaying something else. Let me go to its design view, properties, font, font size. Let's increase the font size and run this. See here, if it is odd number, it does something. We can even change it again. If it is even number, display this. For even numbers, it is showing 3 asterisk. For odd numbers, it is showing something else. Okay, we will add another button. I'm copying and pasting. We can have with if. Okay, let's call it with if. With if button. So same thing, for loop. Let's call it 1, or you can have any numbers, right? Less than or equal to 100. We can have an if condition. If I equals 10, I equals 10, we can add for list dot items, add 10. Otherwise, else we are going to play I, display I. Okay, let's see what happens. When it is 10, instead of displaying 10, the number 10, it is displaying text 10, and then it continues with 11. So this is how it works. Okay, this is how it works. So we don't have this clear operation here, so we can have for list box items dot clear, so that the contents will be cleared for each click. So each click, it doesn't add, it doesn't duplicate. Okay, so this is how we work with for loops. You can have more fun with these loop structure if you can visit YouTube, and you can search Google, as well as you can find more on textbooks. So please refer, and if you have any doubt, please don't hesitate to meet me or drop me an email. Thank you so much. Until then, goodbye.